When we think about discipline, we often think about how we were disciplined when we grew up. And a lot of the time it was someone in an authority position yelling or telling us what the consequence is. Now that's what we would call punishment. Discipline actually comes from the word discipling, which means to build someone up into a leader. And so to do that, we actually want to get alongside them, help them understand what it was that happened and why they did it, and then what they need to do to fix things. So it's all about being calm and helping them solve their own problems rather than us enforcing something upon them. So let me give you an example. Let's say we have a group of students who have been bad-mouthing another student behind their back. It might have been online or in person at school. In that situation, a punitive or a punishment approach would be that the teacher or the person in authority would just go in. They wouldn't ask a lot of questions. They'd make probably quite a few assumptions just based on the information that they've received, and then they would tell the students what the consequences and what the results are. And that can have some effect. It tends to be short-lived, but the main concern with that is no relationships have been repaired, and normally the victim or the person who's been harmed doesn't feel safe to come back to school because they haven't had what they needed fixed in the problem. And on the other hand, we have the restorative approach, or what we'd call the discipline approach. And in that approach, the person in authority, the facilitator, would ask each of the people what happened, who was affected, and what do they need to do to fix things. And then they'd bring them together, and everyone would get to have a voice and get to have their say. And the people who created the harm are responsible for fixing it, and my job's to help them do that. So for example, they needed to write an apology letter to the parents of that student, then I would give them some time to do that, check it, make sure it's okay, and then send it home for them.